Tonight on News 5 Live, 4 police at $40,000 bail each. Child located in Melcher and his father captured by Guatemalan police following double homicide in San Ignacio. And COVID numbers are decreasing in the Belize district. Details of these stories and more coming up in tonight's newscast.
We have been a partner with Smart for over 10 plus years. We have a full Smart plan we use as our major driver for our business. We have a service that rolls over in that if you call one and it is busy, it rolls over to the next line. So once you call us, you can get us at any time. Before we got this Smart service, we were paying upwards of nearly $2,000 in phone bills. Since we've had our Smart service, we pay an average of about $600. So we've had tremendous saving, more than 50%. For the businesses, if you want to save money, switch to Smart because it is far more cost effective and the service is excellent.
Smart continues to be innovative in bringing new technology and meaningful savings during these challenging times to businesses across Belize. Sign up for our VoIP technology or broadband packages and save more.
Have you ever wondered how to tell if someone is marriage material? Do you ever wish there was more to your marriage? Maybe you've asked yourself, how do I raise my kids the way God wants me to? Join us for our new series, Mixtape. We'll play through how God wants us to love the people in our lives one track at a time. Get ready to crank up the volume and tune in for advice God gives us in the areas that matter most.
Taking its name from the venerable father of the nation, the George Price Highway stretches 77 miles from Belize City to Benqueviejo. Originally built in the 1930s, this cross-country highway system is the artery that links Belize to Central America at the western border with Guatemala. That connection facilitates overland trade, supporting Belize's economic development. Winding its way across the scenic countryside, the George Price Highway from Roaring Creek to Esperanza has been fully reconstructed to meet international standards, with particular emphasis on road safety. A shorter and hassle-free commute is best enjoyed when everyone obeys the traffic laws. To reduce the number and frequency of road traffic accidents, it means that a seatbelt must be worn at all times and the speed limit observed when traveling along the highway. It also means that pedestrians must use sidewalks and crosswalks where available. Buses should only board and discharge passengers at a designated bus stop. Road safety is everyone's responsibility. It begins with you.
The future of public transportation is here. Floralia aims to provide Belizeans with a comfortable, delightful, and affordable commuting experience. Our buses will make stops in PG, Independence, Dangriga, Belmopan, Belize City, and surrounding villages. Our 2022 Yutong buses are competitively designed to ensure reliability, durability, maximum fuel efficiency, and safety for both passengers and driver. This modern beauty exceeds local standards with its luxurious layout. Each of its 49 seats comes with headrests, armrests, footrests, and seatbelts. Additional features include USB charging ports, foldable trays and cup holders, entertainment screens, open ceiling compartment to store personal luggage, spacious bottom compartments to transport commercial goods and cargo, and a host of other amazing features. Floralia is here to give Belizeans the best in the public transport industry. For more information on our bus schedule and prices, please visit our Facebook or Instagram page. Bus run starts on December 6th, 2021. See you soon. Floralia, make your journey an experience.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Tuesday, November 23rd. I am Sabrina Daly. Police officers Nelson Middleton, Elmer Nah, Delwyn Casimiro and George Ferguson have been granted Supreme Court bail in the sum of $40,000 each. The four were arraigned on November 8th in connection with the landing of a drug plane on the Southern Highway near Bladen, as well as the seizure of 23 bales of cocaine. When DPP Sherilyn Vidal recused herself and her office from prosecuting the case, the matter was assigned to attorney Alifa Elrington. This morning, several lawyers, including Richard Dickey Bradley, appeared virtually before Justice Antoinette Moore. When the session concluded shortly before midday, the men were granted bail under strict conditions, which include notifying the court should they change their phone numbers during the course of the trial. Following the hearing, News 5's Isani Cayetano sat with attorney Dickey Bradley. Here's that story.
What was initially put forward as perhaps an ironclad case against a quartet of rogue police officers and their civilian accomplices appears to be coming apart at the seams rather quickly. This morning, bail was granted to all four lawmen under the condition that it is secured with land titles. Surely, there are other stipulations to make certain that they are not flight risks. However, the argument set forth by the prosecutor that the men were to be denied bail for up to 9 months while an investigation continues was a non-starter.
We know for a fact that a high-ranking police officer in charge at the Orange Walk police station was charged for being involved in a plane that was landed in Blue Creek. He was given bail. We know that there were several officers, I think 10 people in a boat, rubber dub tub, 10 men in a tub. They were granted bail. Why you want to single out these people and object to bail and say that they have no right to bail until after 9 months? And so that is really stretching it.
Attorney Richard Dickey Bradley represents the four officers, including Corporal Delwyn Casimiro, who up until November 4th was assigned to Director of Public Prosecutions Sherilyn Vidal as her personal bodyguard.
Of the four police officers, this morning the prosecutor informed the judge that she did not submit any documents to me for objection like she did for the other three because they are not objecting to Officer Casimiro. This is really, like in my humble opinion, abominable because a person is kept in jail longer than they need to have been.
Appearing before Justice Antoinette Moore on his client's behalf, the seasoned lawyer presented his case. When he was done with his submissions, a hefty bail was approved.
She granted bail in a very high sum of $40,000 for each of the accused persons. So even though there was no objection to bail for Officer Casimiro, he is on the charge sheet and he's before the court where the Belmopan courts had not granted bail. And so he too is also required to meet a $40,000 bail with other conditions.
The most interesting aspect in all that is presently before the court is perhaps the strength of the case that the prosecution is putting forward where Corporal Elmer Nah is concerned. He was subsequently charged along with 10 others for drug possession with the purpose of supplying it to another person.
Officer Corporal Elmer Nah was stopped in the area of the Independence Police Station, I think on the highway, returning from Punta Gorda, where there was a christening or an event, a family event, for which there are dozens of witnesses. He was with his common law wife, and his common law wife was along with her brother, who is the other police officer that I was referring to. They were stopped. This is 2 days after the plane had landed and offloaded.
Na was arrested and detained on November 6th while driving along the Southern Highway. Traveling with him were 3 passengers, including his common law wife, a toddler, and his brother-in-law.
The vehicle, they find a firearm, they find a bulletproof vest, and they find a quantity over 100 rounds of .223 ammunition. He is charged for helping to land the plane. I don't know how you arrive at that. There is nothing. He's landed, he's charged for conspiring with whoever to make the plane land at our airport, whether not our official airport. And he's charged for all the cocaine where they find in the area, wherever they pick up things, and which is 822 kilograms of cocaine. You don't find no cocaine for this man. You don't find no cocaine on nobody. You don't see them unloading, offloading. You don't find it in his vehicle. You don't see him driving none of the vehicle that was said to have fled the scene and had a shootout. Yet he's charged with all the offenses along with the others.
Whether the charges brought against Corporal Elmer Na will hold in a court of law is yet to be seen. On the surface, the case against him appears to be flimsy. When asked about the investigation on the day of the arraignment, Commissioner of Police Chester Williams seemed fairly confident that the charges were sufficient.
Yes, we have enough to charge now, but you know that the investigation is still ongoing. There are certain things that we need to do to strengthen the case, so we're going to wait for those. My perspective as a commissioner, I will do whatever needs to be done to ensure that all those who are responsible for this plane landing are held accountable.
Reporting for News 5, I am Isana Cayetano.
Bail applications have similarly been made on behalf of 7 other individuals charged in connection with the most recent drug plane landing. The men are to return to court in February 2022. Police are also now looking for Efrain Cano in connection with the drug plane landing. 7-year-old Darwin Castillo has been safely reunited with his mother and family. Earlier today, police confirmed that Guatemalan law enforcement located the child in Melchor de Mencos. A relative told News 5 that he is in good health and without any physical injuries. Late this afternoon, Noticias de Petén was reporting that his father, Brian Castillo, has also been apprehended in Guatemala. Castillo is wanted by Belizean authorities following the murder of Brian Castillo's common-law wife and her 12-year-old daughter at an apartment complex in San Ignacio over the weekend. On Monday, News 5 spoke with Castillo's employer and family friend.
I know he has some family in Melchor, but I'm not sure if he would go that side or where he's running. No idea. Yeah.
He's an employee of yours, obviously, but I would imagine you want to see him get caught.
Well, yes, because he ran away with my motorcycle, one of the cycle that he used to work. He went with it too.
It's your motorcycle?
My motorcycle.
Okay.
He have it too.
So you want your motorcycle?
Yeah, well, I need my motorcycle. That's the way I earn my living. Yeah, and of course I want justice to prevail. No, I want let they catch him and let him pay for what he did, because man, like I said, the most hurt in my heart is the little girl, because that's our future, and he just take her life.
A police officer for more than a decade, Police Constable Kieran Carlos, lost his life while driving home from work on Tuesday morning. Carlos reportedly lost control of his motorcycle and collided into a concrete wall between miles 59 and 60. A large culvert is situated in the area where he crashed, and his body was found submerged in the water. He had just gotten off duty in Corozal and was heading to his Orange Walk home. News 5 spoke to the brother of the deceased, Farid Carlos, who told us that it was Kieran who encouraged him to sign up for the police intake earlier this year.
He took his job with dignity and pride and doing what he loved to do. It was being a police officer. Yeah. And I believe that people who knew him could testify that he was a very humble and a very diligent police officer. He dedicated a large amount of years of his life to the police department, and he really loved what he did, and he did it with a lot of love and care and diligence. Because being a police officer is not something easy. So at the moment I'm enrolled in the new recruitment, I'm still I'm still on the training right now, and I always had communication with him and to teach me more about policing, about the process and the how about to be a good police officer. I've made up my mind, and I really want to go through this, and I really want to become a police officer and be as good as him, or probably better with with the knowledge he shared with me. I really want to become someone better in the police department. So, and I would even want to reach to the ranks, to the high ranks, so that I could devote that to him in the years ahead of me. I could devote that to him.
Farid says the family does not yet know what caused Kieran to lose control of his motorbike. Police are investigating. Coming up, a mother recounts the accident that claimed her child and best friend. Details when we return.
Hello friends, this is Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says, "Woe to them that are at ease in Zion and trust in the mountain of Samaria, you that put far away the evil day and cause the seat of violence to come near." And Zechariah says, "And the angel of the Lord said, We have walked to and fro through the earth, and behold, all the earth sitteth still and is at rest." Our society today has been infiltrated and infected by cults being led with men with demented minds and demonic wills. How can we ever forget the nearly 1,000 people several years ago who followed Jim Jones to Guyana, later committing mass suicide, or the followers of David Koresh in Waco, Texas, who were led to a horrible death by burning? However, there is another cult that you hear very little of today that we must fearlessly confront, and that is the cult of the comfortable. Christmas Evans described this cult through the simile of the blacksmith's dog. He related that when the blacksmith first took his dog to his blacksmith shop, that he was very fearful and frightened, yet later he became so accustomed to the sounds and sparks coming from the blacksmith's anvil that he could go to sleep right under the anvil. Likewise today, many have heard so many sermons about sin and hell and salvation and heaven that they go to sleep under the power of the gospel while the sparks of damnation fly all about them. Have we become so complacent at ease in Zion while the world is rushing into hell that we have failed to confront this cult of the comfortable? Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
It's almost time when we change the drums for the Christmas bells. And you know that when Christmas season starts, we celebrate big at Channel 5. How big? It's our 30th anniversary. That's right, the Big 3-0. And this year's Gimme 5 will be packed with fun, entertainment, and big giveaways. The show starts on December 6th and runs through December 10th, starting at 7:30 p.m. nightly. Coupons are now available for 25 cents each on our Channel 5 website and at our studios on Coney Drive. Fill out your coupons and bring them into our compound. And remember, starting December 6th, when the phone rings, don't say hello, say, "Gimme 5."
Gimme 5.
Improving lives, delivering quality. Water for you and me. In Belize, BWS, we make it happen.
For the immediate future, our entire country's focus is to ensure that each of us take adequate measures to mitigate against the COVID-19 pandemic. We all need to ensure frequent hand washing or sanitizing, regular disinfection of surfaces, constant social distancing, and a sufficient supply of sanitizing and cleansing material. At this critical time, a reliable supply of clean potable water is of utmost importance to ensure our health and peace of mind. Water is therefore a vital necessity to help us remain free from illness and ultimately to help Belize's economic recovery. Help us to help you by paying your water bill. Our return to a healthy and vibrant economy depends on you.
Belize Water Services, delivering water and more.
As we reported on Monday, our News 5 crew witnessed a fatal accident on the George Price Highway near Mile 9 that cleared the life of a woman and a 10-month-old baby. The child's mother survived the ordeal and today chronicled to News 5's Dwayne Moody the traumatic experience of losing both her baby and best friend.
Usually when I'm on day off and she's on break, we would take that normal drive or socialization with just the kids and us, and we would drive, either go up the highway, go through Western, come around through Boom, go down north, or we would go to the park, or we would go to Bacab, or we would just be driving around the city.
On Monday, Golda Reynolds, her 10-month-old son Abdur Smith, and her best friend Tifara Samuels Hall were heading up the highway as they so often did, just as a pastime, given the restrictions of the pandemic. But that afternoon, as they drove past the 8 Mile community, the unthinkable happened when they were clipped by a dump truck that tried to overtake her small white car. Reynolds told us what happened next and how she tried her best to avoid what she saw coming at her.
Truck that was coming from the direction of Belmore Pan to Belize City start blowing his horn to alert him that, you know what, you can't overtake. And because I can't stop the speed where I go and the speed where you go, you can't overtake. But by this time, he done started to overtake my vehicle. And when he realized that he couldn't make that overtake, he tried to dress back and he swerved into my vehicle, turned my vehicle to the side, which is the passenger side, and he pushed my vehicle straight into the vehicle, the big truck that was coming in the opposite direction. And he pushed me and I tried to turn. I tried to turn that vehicle because I saw it coming. And I couldn't because he clipped my vehicle and he pushed and then he eventually break free of it. For some reason, God was out there and he break free and he swerved into the lane, the next lane, and he couldn't stop. He stopped probably about some 100 yards away, and on the impact, my friend and the baby dead. The baby dead. I took my son because she was feeding the baby and putting him to sleep, and as the baby was asleep, I pick him up and I said, just say something to mommy, please. You know, I just wanted to hear his voice, but I watched my baby take his last breath. I watched my baby take his last breath. And I hold him and I walked up that street with that baby in my hand, and I tell I said, bring that driver to me. Bring him, let him see what he did to my baby.
Hall's family was in disbelief when they heard the news no one ever wants to hear.
I probably call and say, I need to go to the hospital because my sister gets in an accident. So I tell him, like, why stop playing? He said, like, yeah, I know the play. He said, I'm not sure, she's supposed to be dead. So we don't want to tell my mama because my mama kind of travel with pressure and things. So me and my next sister just come out and we gone straight to the hospital. And where we reached there, I had my sister in our bag, in the back of our pickup truck. We'll wait for the doctor to pronounce her dead. And
Reynolds says she didn't take her two children, Abder's brother and sister, because they were doing their online classes, nor did they take Hall's 7-year-old daughter. Today, both families are holding strong to their faith, trying to support their grieving loved ones.
I got some series of abrasions, bruises. I don't know if I will be able to stand on my leg because I can't walk. And it continues. I just have to wait and see. I mean, it's hard this year. It's terrible for me. I had my baby in January. I lost my mom in March, and now November, my baby. Oh, can you cope with all of this? You know?
Be safe on the road. It hurt me if you know that I enforced the law, and this is the way my sister went. You know, come on, and only one up on the road. Share a road, no need to drive, so Belize now move. Where on the going, no move. When still reach on the going, just slow down and take on the time on the road.
Reynolds had this to say to the driver.
You can't be one driver with irresponsible. People like we were responsible can't hide from, you know. You take on 2 lives. Tefara have 1 daughter. You take one ma for our daughter. You take our son for our ma. I can't replace this. You're sorry no means nothing to me if you even say sorry. You know? Why did you decide to overtake? What was the hurry with the building or the place where you gone? May I move?
These are among the many questions that will continue to replay within the minds of the loved ones of Abder Smith and Tefara Samuels Hall as they mourn their untimely deaths as a result of the latest fatal accident. Dwayne Moody for News 5.
Last night, we told you about the Sunday morning traffic accident on the Hummingbird Highway just outside Belmopan that claimed the life of Kimberly Griffith and Elmer Avila. Police have since arrested and charged Armando Pastrona with 2 counts of manslaughter by negligence, 2 counts of causing death by careless conduct, driving without due care and attention, driving under the influence, negligent wounding and harm, and failing to give way. Today we spoke via phone to Avila's younger sister, who told us more about the man that was affectionately known as Boo.
He decided to work at the resorts here in Hopkins, and he expanded out of that. And once he got enough capital, he started his business called Seymour Adventure and Dive Shop. And that's in Hopkins. That's the only locally owned dive shop in Hopkins.
Wow.
And he was born here, he grew up here, so this is a big deal for the entire community. He had so much faith in the youth of Hopkins and making sure that Hopkins would go global. He started the Hopkins Youth Dive Certification Program, and that's where they certified 8 of the teenagers from in the village to be open water divers. He is one of those people as well that was all about the Garifuna culture. Like, he is a part of the Yurume every single year. Every single year, he is one of the few guys in the Hopkins that owns a boat that is usually out there, including the year of 2020. Even though we couldn't have any gatherings due to COVID, he made sure he pulled his boat out on a trailer and drove it through the streets of Hopkins with the drums roaring in the background, just to make sure that his culture does not just disappear. This just goes to everyone that's being irresponsible out there. Consuming alcohol can be fun and all, but as long as it's not controlled, then this is what happens. You know, there's 6 children without a father now.
The lifeless body of 33-year-old Lucas Robert Hoare was recovered from a cane field in Shaibe Village, Corozal District this morning. Hoare was reported missing by his sibling on Monday. According to Philip McCauley, he heard someone over at his brother's residence in the Sosa layout of Corozal town on Monday evening around 6:30. This morning, upon making checks at his brother's home, McCauley discovered that his brother was missing, and so was his double-cab Isuzu pickup. Around 8:30 a.m., Hoare was found with multiple stab wounds to his body. A police investigation into this homicide has been launched. After the break, COVID numbers decrease somewhat, but only in one district. Find out more when we return. But first, here is a look at the latest COVID-19 figures.
Feels like forever you've been burning for me. I'm here now. Ooh, it's a fire indeed. 'Cause I'm skin soft like thick like this. Wet lips drip drip like this. If you come a little closer, you will see that baby I'm bad.
Hi, I'm Chef Sean Quillen. I love cooked fish fillet, and I prefer to get my fish straight at the fish market right here at Conchel Bay. But you see, sometimes you come out here and you don't know what you're getting. The fish has no label, it has no patch of skin. But don't worry about it. I am here today to teach you how to avoid fish fraud. When purchasing your fillet, remember to look out for the patch of skin required by law. Or you could tell them by the physical characteristics: long and slender, barracuda; nice white meat, hagfish; the deep bloodline from the bow to the stand, that is jack. When buying in bulk or buying out of a bag, make sure to inspect each fillet individually to avoid what we call in a Creole, pussy in a bag. What a pussy in a bag? Fraud. If that's not the help you, because even for me as a professional chef at this man for 40 years, that's really challenging. All I could tell you is buy from a reputable source or buy it whole. And if all of that's not available to you, just go to fishrighteatright.com, and we at Oceana have a fish identification chart. Because guess where you're going now? We talk about bloodline just now one thing, And that's a snapper, right? Classic snapper. What kind of snapper this?
This is the shark.
Nurse shark. Highly illegal. No make they trick you. No make you buy pussy in a bag. Do the right thing. Fish right. Eat right.
How can we support the emotional well-being of older adults during COVID-19? During the COVID-19 pandemic, and particularly while in quarantine, individuals, including older adults, may become more anxious, angry, stressed, agitated, or withdrawn, especially those who need healthcare assistance or have cognitive decline or dementia. Here are 4 strategies that can help you in supporting an older adult during this difficult time. 1. Communicate information and listen. Present with accurate, simple, and accessible information and facts about the COVID-19 outbreak, its progression, treatment, and effective strategies to prevent infection. Listen patiently to their needs and concerns. For older people with mild cognitive impairment or early stages of dementia, inform them of what is happening within their capacity and provide support to ease their anxiety and stress. 2. Promote positive mental and emotional health. Provide access to available mental health and psychosocial support services, also known as MHPSS services, for older adults and communicate when and how they can access them. Help older people keep regular routines and schedules as much as possible. You can also help them create new ones, including regular exercising, cleaning, daily chores, singing, painting, or other activities. Facilitate regular communication between older adults and their friends and families. 3. Help with medical needs. Make sure that older adults have at least up to 1 month of all the regular medicines that they may require. Explain how to use protective devices in a clear, concise way. Always be respectful and patient. 4. Assist with daily activities. Provide older people with details related to how and where they can get practical help if needed, like calling a taxi, dropping off supplies, having groceries delivered, and requesting medical care, as well as information on any locally available social support programs and services. For more information, consult the webpage of the Pan American Health Organization, www.paho.org/coronavirus.
Bundle the fastest, most reliable, unlimited broadband in Belize with your prepaid or postpaid mobile plan or Netflix. You can bundle your broadband with your prepaid and enjoy 50% off all national calls, plus get SMS and data. Paid plans? Then bundle with any speed and pay only $25 extra monthly to enjoy unlimited smart-to-smart calls, plus 500 minutes, plus 6,300 megabytes of data. Stream unlimited HD movies and TV shows with our broadband, plus the Netflix add-on for only $30 monthly, and enjoy streaming on your laptop, TV, phone, or tablet. Visit a smart showroom near you to sign up or upgrade to the bundle that's right for you. Smart, bringing people together.
Since the beginning of October, health officials have been seeing a dip in the number of new COVID infections in the Belize district, while other districts have shown a slight increase in their numbers. According to Deputy Manager for the Ministry of Health's Central Region, Dr. Melissa Diaz-Musa, the numbers in the Belize district have nosedived to within a quarter of what they were in early October.
In early October, I think that we had about 1,100 active cases. And as of yesterday, for Belize City and the rural parts of Belize, it's 292 active cases. So we've gone down significantly. And for the islands, for San Pedro, we have 69 active cases. And for Keycocker, we have about 35 active cases at this point. So we continue to see a downward trend. There was a slight cluster in Keycocker that we have gotten control of at this point. So that is also, we're hoping that in another few days to weeks, we will continue to see the downward trend on that island. And San Pedro is coming down nicely as well. So we're pleased with the numbers here for the Belize district. We do welcome the downward trend that we're seeing at this time. Gives us a chance to, rejuvenate, get ready if there is a fourth wave coming to Belize, and to try to get out there and get as many persons vaccinated as possible.
COVID debts and COVID-related debts. We see and hear the terms every day, but many use them interchangeably and don't know how COVID debts are determined and classified. News 5 asked Deputy Manager for the Central Health Region, Dr. Melissa Musa, to differentiate between the two.
When somebody dies, even if they've already tested negative, so if somebody has been hospitalized for 21 days, let's say, and by the time the test is repeated, that person has tested negative for COVID-19, but that person has died from complications of COVID-19, that debt will still be classified as a COVID debt. If it's been a long time since the person has been diagnosed with COVID and it's nothing related to that direct infection, you would not then classify that person as a COVID debt. The difference comes in when somebody dies from a completely different diagnosis, or let's say from a road traffic accident or from a gunshot wound or any other cause not related to COVID-19, and the person is swabbed and the swab comes back positive for COVID, that person will not be placed as a COVID debt because COVID-19 had no correlation or no cause or didn't add or contribute in any way to the death of that person.
And while the number of infections decreases in one part of the country, there is still a stretch further that the Ministry of Health has to go before it gets the majority of the population vaccinated. Dr. Musa says the vaccinated population is currently at around 44%. She explained that the vaccinations help to fight off the deadly Delta variant. Now, she is hoping that people will go back for their booster shots as well.
I know that in other districts, it's fluctuating as well, but I believe Belize, Orange Rock, and Corozal, we are seeing the downward trend. And Cayo, I think, is plateauing at this time, and the other two districts remain higher than we would like. But with the public health measures and with enforcement and with continuing vaccinations, hopefully we would be able to have that downward trend in all the districts as soon as possible. With the boosters, we have seen people coming out. It's not definitely not like when we had first opened up all the phases in July and August when we had hundreds of people coming out every day. And when we got Pfizer, of course, you know, that was a big success when we started to vaccinate the children between 12 and 17. With regards to the boosters, people are coming in, and we're happy to see that because especially the vulnerable population, they have ensured that they are coming in. So older persons, persons with diabetes, high blood pressure, obesity, persons who have asthma, these people are, you know, making it their business to come in and to get the booster dose. But we do need to promote it more. We do need for the entire country to be aware that boosters are available for anyone 18 years and over. You have a choice of AstraZeneca, Johnson & Johnson, or Pfizer booster. For those persons who have had Sinopharm, they can have Sinopharm or Pfizer as the booster as well. Something important is that if you've gotten your first dose of Johnson & Johnson, it is now recommended that after 8 weeks, anytime after 8 weeks, you can come in for a booster shot.
Just ahead, with so many recent accidents, some reminders about safer driving. But first, here's a weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
Life can be tough when a loved one suddenly departs. Dependents of the deceased are sometimes left alone to pick up the pieces and may be stranded financially. Fortunately, the Social Security Board provides survivor's benefit to ease the burden. Survivor's benefit is paid to a widow or widower, children under 18 years, or up to 21 years if attending school, or dependent parents. A survivor's benefit can be either a grant or a pension. Want to know more about survivor's benefit? Visit our website or contact any of our offices to have someone assist you. Also, be sure to visit our Facebook page and give us a like to stay informed. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
Over the years, vaccines have protected us from serious diseases like whooping cough, chickenpox, polio, measles, and others. Vaccines help your immune system do its job better and faster, and that protects you from serious diseases. Like a police officer, your immune system is always on patrol in your body looking for invading germs. When it comes across a germ, it begins releasing antibodies to fight the germ. These antibodies work to attack, weaken, and destroy the germ. The COVID-19 vaccine is no different. It will work to help your immune system fight COVID-19 effectively. You are important to your family and friends. Vaccines bring us closer.
Need a paint which offers superior quality and durability? Then the choice is easy. Designed specifically for your home's exterior, Benjamin Moore Ultra Spec EXT offers ultra smooth performance. It's easy to apply, has low odor, and is mildew resistant. Bring life to your home by choosing the color and sheen to suit your style. Benjamin Moore Paints, available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
It's a fact that your credit lasts longer when using Smart. During these times, we're all trying to find ways to cut costs and save the little resources we have. With Smart, it's easy to do that. It's a fact that with Smart, your credit lasts longer. You can call Smart to Smart and Smart to Digi using your promo credit, while with the other guy, you can only call OnNet, Digi, or BTL numbers. What does this mean? You get to call any national number using your promo credit. Your promo credit is free, so that call is also free. Know your facts. Don't be tricked by the other guy. Be smart and save your dollars.
As one of the largest cable and internet providers in Belize, CBC strives to provide our customers with the highest standards of quality, value, and service in all aspects of cable TV and internet. Monitoring our systems closely, our technicians combine creative planning and state-of-the-art technology with years of experience and training to develop and provide the most reliable and advanced cable and internet service to exceed your expectations. For CBC and our team of talented engineers, technicians, and customer service representatives, delivering less than the very best is never an option.
Three fatal accidents on 3 different highways in 3 consecutive days have claimed the lives of 5 persons, including a 10-month-old boy. It's the chilling statistics of the past few days, time that was supposed to be the joyous Garifuna Settlement Day weekend and the start of another work week. On Sunday, Kimberly Griffith and Elmer Avila died on the Hummingbird Highway during a collision. You just heard the heart-wrenching double fatality involving Tifara Samuels Hall and the boy, which occurred on Monday afternoon. And then this morning, PC Kieran Carlos perished when he lost control of his motorcycle and collided into a culvert on the Philip Golson Highway. These tragic incidents bring in sharp focus on road safety, but also living with the trauma for the survivors and relatives of the victims. News 5's Dwayne Moody reports.
I can't even drive my car. Today I come out of hospital. My dad came for me and slamming the door trigger. How can I ever drive again? How can I ever, even though I am doing what I need to do to prevent, not them have phone, not do this, not do that, how can I trust putting my babies there in our car? How can I trust anybody for put my baby there in our car? Or even myself? You know, and they don't understand the situation. They don't understand the type of things when they put you through, when they do that bullshit like this, you know.
Golda Reynolds speaks of the trauma that she will now have to live with, having lost her youngest child and her best friend on Monday afternoon. At the same time, she realizes that despite her own careful attitude while driving, it couldn't prevent the tragedy.
I'm very cautious. I not even use my phone. I don't talk to people. I don't even swerve out a pothole when it comes to me driving because I don't play that. You know, I was doing 45 because I was driving pretty slow. I don't know, man. I'm careful, man. I'm always careful. But to that, yesterday, the careful didn't count for that. See, that careful didn't count for that. That man hit me and shoved me into that vehicle, and I couldn't do anything.
It is something that the Department of Transport has been advocating from a behavioral and an enforcement standpoint. And it is about driving for yourself and the next driver.
So we always try to give drivers safety tips. And as you rightly mentioned, seatbelt is one of the main safety tips that any driver can utilize to maximize their safety, not only for themselves, but for their family and other passengers or other road users. Now, the seatbelt, it is an offense to not wear your seatbelt while operating your vehicle on the highway, and it's for both the driver and the front seat passenger. And so we want to continue to encourage the use of seatbelts while on the highway because it really does help. It reduces the chance of a person flying out the vehicle if there's a collision. And the truth of the matter is that oftentimes people fail to recognize that they might be the ones who are driving properly, but it might be the fault of an oncoming vehicle. Is that we have to start to teach our young people the importance of road safety, and also we are also in so that we can help to share the information pertaining to road safety. We want people to understand the impacts that comes with road safety collision and crashes.
Operations Officer Peter Williams says that they are trying to educate motorists about defensive driving. But for survivors, as well as the loved ones of the victims, there's also the aspect of coping with the trauma.
First of all, they were happy to see me alive because they already know everybody have to drive in. I think my dad told them that their brother has died, but when I came to this house and I see this water and I see these clothes and I see this stuff and I see these little things that he play with, I broke. You know, and I called them and I said, do you know your brothers and my daughter and my son, they just hugged me and they cried.
How do you tell that 7-year-old that mommy not to come back right now?
Well, she not really understand. She just say, "I'm my dead." She to me like really understand it because start as fear yet. When it start as fear, then I don't know how we are cope with that. But she like a loving family and we are love she for now till forever.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
Up next, some young athletes head to Colombia for competition.
What is the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine? The Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine is an RNA vaccine that triggers our immune system to develop antibodies against the SARS-CoV-2 virus that causes COVID-19. It helps to reduce hospitalization, severity of the disease, and death. What is the Pfizer vaccine made of, and is it safe? The Pfizer vaccine is made up of mRNA messenger ribonucleic acid, which are molecules that carry the genetic information needed to make proteins, lipid, salts, and sugar. It is safe for persons 12 years and older and does not contain the COVID-19 virus. Hence, cannot cause infection. Tests have shown that the vaccine is effective against current virus variants. Who should take the Pfizer vaccine? The Pfizer vaccine should be taken by persons 12 years of age and older who do not have severe allergic reaction after a previous dose of vaccine or have not had severe allergic reaction to any ingredient of this vaccine. 2 doses of the vaccine are required 3 weeks apart. If you are between the ages of 12 and 17 years, you are required to present a signed consent form before you are vaccinated. What are the side effects of the Pfizer vaccine? Some common side effects of the Pfizer vaccine are headache, fatigue, muscle pain, fever, chills, and swelling at the injection site. If side effects persist, contact your doctor as soon as possible. Does the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine prevent infection and transmission? No, vaccination alone does not prevent infection and transmission. We are still required to continue to wear masks properly, physically distance, wash and sanitize hands often, practice proper coughing and sneezing hygiene, and avoid crowds.
Is always with you, from live TV, sports, and on-demand titles. Choose your plan today. Plans start as low as $15 per month. My TV, entertainment, anytime, anywhere.
When something is good and you can save, that makes it even better. Like this guy. He buys Flex bundles using his promo credit. No worries when his primary credit is finished. He gets talk, text, and data for free. Or her, she calls her family internationally with her promo credit. And with data packages so affordable, she even does video calls. Smart continues to offer great deals and affordable promotions. As a small business owner, she saves when she uses her promo credit to call the other guys. All Smart customers enjoy more triple days and knowing they can use their promo credit, which just lasts longer. Smart, bringing people together.
Belize Olympic and Commonwealth Games Association has announced that the first Junior Pan American Games is set to take place in Cali, Colombia, from November 25th to December 5th, 2021. Belize is sending a delegation of 12 athletes and 5 officials for 9 different sporting disciplines. The contingent will be led by a chief of mission, Dion Sutherland. The first group, including canoe, judo, triathlon, and athletics, has already left the country, and on Friday, the second group, athletics, tennis, and beach volleyball, will depart. The third group, including cycling, karate, and sailing, heads to Colombia on November 28th. In terms of safety, the Pan American Junior Games have implemented strict protocols, and all athletes and officials have to be fully vaccinated and must remain within the bubble of competition and training venues and their place of accommodation. The Belize Olympic Committee says despite the many challenges the pandemic has brought in terms of training, it remains committed to the development of our athletes and giving them the opportunity to compete at the highest levels. And finally tonight, we have some good news to report about the popular pediatrician, Dr. Cecilio Eck. He has had a rough bout with COVID and experienced complications soon after he contracted the virus. He ended up on a ventilator not once, but twice, much to the dismay of his fellow medical colleagues. Thereafter went through a roller coaster post-COVID episode that required surgery and blood transfusions. But Dr. Eck survived it all, and today he shared with News 5 the ordeal that has left him still immobile and confined to a wheelchair.
After a week of being at home, the symptoms started to get worse. And I had made a pact with my wife that if things got worse, I wouldn't, as all doctors do, hold it in, but I would divulge her, things are getting bad. So in the dead of the night, I started to get severely short of breath. And so I called and arranged for the team to get me at KHMH. I was transferred there, spent a couple days, and then transferred from there to BHPL. The last I remember of it is getting off at KHMH. I don't remember anything until waking up after all the intubations and after all the surgery. The problem with this is that during that time that you're not moving, the muscles in your body atrophy. So presently, I'm sitting in a chair, a wheelchair, but I can't stand and I can't walk. But I do have movement in the lower limbs, and my physiotherapist, Ms. Trejo, comes in every day to check on me and to give me my exercises. She's my torturer every day, but it slowly will come to pass, I hope.
Dr. Eck publicly thanks Dr. Fernando Cuellar and the team of doctors who discussed his condition before deciding what the best options were. He also thanks his wife and all the people who prayed for him, donated blood, or contributed to his family during his bout with COVID. And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available in both text and streaming video at channel5belize.com. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/News5Live. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, please remember to wash your hands, keep your social distance, and stay safe. Good night.